record triggered flow. See, we have seen the two record triggered flow, which was for the before event and another one was for after event. So before event triggered flow was like, for an example, there was an account record. So if contact record is associated to account record, whatever the phone number of the account contact record is having, the same phone number should get reflected into the contacts record. So the when we select that particular record of that account. Okay, so that was our scenario and we created it. Then for the after event, we have created this one scenario was like whenever suppose like if suppose there was one, we put one condition for the opportunity object. So we were doing the record triggered flow for the after event, right? So we have just set it for the opportunity object. As we have selected the opportunity object, what was our requirement? That if stage name is to prospect, then if prospect is changed to perception analysis, then and also the amount should be 50,000. Okay, then what should happen? That push notification should be sent to the owner. Is that clear? I'm repeating again that scenario. Our scenario was like if stage name is changed from prospecting to perception analysis, then and also amount is 50,000, then what should happen? Push notification should be sent to the user. Is that clear for everyone? Is that clear for everyone? And we have seen that multiple versions can be there. If suppose you have created one particular flow and you debugged it and you try to run in the object, okay, so that went well, that executed well, right? Now if you want to make more changes, if you want to make it more effective, if you are going again back and you are trying to save that, so it will be saved in the newer version. So as soon as you save for the newer version, that gets activated after clicking the activate button, and the previous version which was there, it will suddenly it will be getting deactivated. Okay, so we have seen that how we can see the versions of that flows, correct? If you are unable to see that, how we can see that version of flow, I'll show you once again, and then if you want to check it, you can check it, okay, by yourselves as well. So let's go without wasting the time, and we'll log in into our account, and then we'll see that how we can do. And then we'll be starting with the Apex class. Okay. So from today, we'll be starting with the Apex class. So let me log into my account first. Okay. So let's log in first. So here in the quick find box, I will search for the flows. So here you can see there is a flows. If we are having some version, then it will be opening in that version only. So let's check. We have created some version. So activity record, it might be having just one version only, I guess. So if I'm opening this view details, let me check how many versions it's having. So it is still loading. Okay, so leave this. Let's go to some another. The OPP records to account, right? We have created that one as well. So here you can see, let me check with this version. That is also loading. So here one table will be there, and here you can identify which version is active. So here you can see there is only one version. If suppose you open this version, okay, if you open this version and if you keep on if suppose I am opening this, okay, if suppose I'm opening this and what I'm doing over here, I'm clicking on save as, and here it is asking me for the newer version, okay, and I'm saving this. I haven't done this before, but now I'm doing it. Now it is asking whether you want to make this version as an active or not. So I will activate this, okay. So here you can see now this flow is activated. Now let's go back. Okay. Let's see How many versions it is showing? So here you can see there are two versions, 1 and 2. Okay. So wherever there you can see there is a deactivate button. That means that version is being activated. And wherever you can see there is an activate, so that means that version is deactivated, right? So that is the thing. I want to show you that how we can see the different version and we can check whether which version is active or not. So whenever we do some new that if we are adding something or if we are modifying that flow, then will be then that save as button will be reflected, and whenever after clicking that save as, we can save with the another version as well. Is that clear? Now we'll see some developer part of it. So let's check whether is we are having something in this slide, so we can easily move to. Okay. So yesterday we have seen all the OOPS concept and whatever the things which we have seen, that admin versus as developer as well. So that things we have seen, right? Now here you can see Apex supports class interfaces, collections. So collections we'll see after completing the list set map. Okay. Then there is an objects array notation. We'll see when we'll start the coding. Okay. Then here you can see these are the most important things in the while coding. So you should know what are the primitive data types, what are the S objects, what is the collection. So we'll see one by one all these things, right? So here you can see a primitive data type means what? There are integers, double, string, long, date, ID, boolean, and many more. Okay, so these are the primitive data types which will be commonly using. But most of the cases, whenever we have to work on the object oriented, so what we'll be using instead of this primitive data types, we'll be using the S objects only. So S object is nothing but the Salesforce objects. Okay. So it can be standard object, it can be custom object, any object. Okay. So S object is nothing but the Salesforce object only. Okay. So integer will be like for numbers, then double will be some digit is like more than that. If integer is having the limit, so with that we'll be using double. Then string is used for text. Then long means you can use for the larger number of characters. Then date, if we are writing the date formats. Then if we are writing the ID, it is having some specific data type. Then boolean, whether the return is like true or false, so we can use this kind of primitive data types as per the requirement. Okay. Now, what we'll be using, now we'll see, write one Apex class. We know that what is an S object. Then after writing the Apex class, we'll see the what is the collection. Okay. Then we'll see what is the list, set, map, and all. Okay. For now, we'll start writing the Apex class. Okay. Here you can see. So that is the secondary part. First, we'll start with the Apex code. Okay, so let's move to our environment. Okay, so here you can see now whenever you need to code, what you need to do is like there is a platform provided by the Salesforce where you have to code. Okay, so that is called as developer console. So where you will find that developer console, just click on the gear icon, and here you can see there is a developer console. Just by clicking on the gear icon, you can find the developer console. So just click on the developer console. Is that clear? Okay, so you will get one different window over here in where you have to code yourself. Okay, so whether you want to write the class, whether you want to write the Apex triggers, so whatever the coding you have to do, you will be doing over this space only. Okay, so here you can see there is a file, and after clicking on the file, here you can see if you want to write the Apex class, you will click on the Apex class. Then here you can see there is if you want to write the trigger, it will be showing with the option as an Apex triggers. Then Visual Force page will not be using this Visual Force page. Now we are working on the LWC, which is the we are coding over the Visual Studio, like for LWC, right? Then these all are the remaining part, but we have to mainly focus on this Apex class, Apex triggers. Okay, then remaining part we can handle by the Visual Studio as well. Okay, then if you want to open some particular class, if you are writing some particular class, all the class will be getting represented over here in these entities, correct? Then whatever the triggers you are writing, it will be present over here. So these are the things which you can get from here. Then if you are creating one Visual Force pages, so it will get over here. Then page components, whatever the components which you are using, and what are the objects you are using, so that all these things will be getting reflected over here. So you can see all the objects which are there in the environment are getting displayed over here. Is that clear? Then static resources. So we'll see step by step slowly how the things are there in this Salesforce. Then if you are writing one particular class and you want to call that class, so how you will be running? For that, there in the debug, there you can see there is an open execute anonymous. So whatever the class you want to call, you will be calling from here. Okay, and then simply you have to execute it, and all the printable things will be getting displayed into the logs. Okay, then you will find, we'll see these things, how does these things works. Okay, so for now, just please pay attention. Now I want to write one class over here. So I'll click on file, I'll click on new, and here you can see there is an Apex class. So I'll click it over there. Now it is asking what kind of class you want to create, what kind of identifier you want to create. So there is a format. In that format only we have to give the name. Okay, so this format is called as a Pascal case. Okay, so please remember this, guys. See, this naming is very important. If you are giving anyhow, what happens sometimes, you work for the real time projects. Okay, then what will be happening, you have created excellently that code. Okay, your logics are perfect, you have done everything over right over there, but the naming convention which you are using is not that clear and not that good, so that he can easily identify. Means it will be trouble for the person who is looking into that code. The code should be written in such a way that it should be readable to any person. So like if even if it is not, he is not knowing that much of the coding, but you should know, you should write that code in such a way that uh, like that will be easily readable. Okay, so for that reason, if why these naming conventions are there, because whenever we are giving this naming convention, so by just looking at that name, we can say that this is the class, this is the variable, this is the method. So we can easily identify with this naming convention. So that's why we are giving this naming conventions. Okay, so the Pascal case means what? If suppose I am having the two words, if I am writing my class, okay, so if suppose I am just giving the two words over here, my class, so it is having two words over here. So I'm using the initials as in one particular name. Or if suppose I am writing one class name as like a class only, so the class name should be in initial should be in the C is and uppercase only. Okay, so if suppose I'm writing class name in two words, then both the words initial should be in uppercase. So like I'm creating one class which is the generic car, so I'm writing the generic car. Okay, so here you can see I have in what way I'm giving the class name. So here you can see there is a generic car, so initials are the in the uppercase. Okay, is that clear for everyone? So I'm clicking on the OK. After clicking on OK, here you can see it is showing that public class generic car. So how you can see this? See, this is the access modifier. You call it as a access modifier. Let me write in the comment. So let me press and enter over here. If I want to comment out this thing, I'll simply use the / over here. Now whatever I'll be writing over here, this will be in the comment. It will not be the code, but it will be the comment only. So if suppose I want to write what are this and what is this and what is this. Okay, so here what I'll be writing, I'll simply write public is an access modifier. Okay, correct. Public is an access modifier, right? Then class, as we have discussed, what is class? Class is nothing but the blueprint where you will be writing your logic, whatever the things you need to write, you will define each and everything in that particular class. So like you will be defining the properties, attributes, methods, everything you will be getting defined under this class. Okay, so that is the thing with this class. So it is a, you know, blueprint. I'll simply write that. We have discussed these things in detail only in yesterday session, right? So I'll just write in the shortcut way. Okay, blueprint. And then here you can see there is a generic car. So this is the class name, which is called as an identifier. Okay, so here you can see we have written the public class. Why I am writing this public class? Because I can call this public class in another class as well. Okay, so like if I am writing private, so I can't call the private class in another class. If I suppose I want to call this class, if I am writing this as a private, see, if I am writing as a private over here, if I am writing in the private over here, it will suddenly throw me something error over here, and it will say means like you can't see top level type must have a public or global visibility. Why? Because this private can't be called in some another class. How I am calling? I'm using it over here as an anonymous window. I'm writing the piece of Apex code over here, and I'm executing this. So it won't allow me to execute this private class. Okay, so you can call this private class, but what you have to do, you have to put this private class in public class, and then you can call that public class in this Apex code, right? Why to do that so much of work? Is simply just keep it as in public so that you can easily call from the another class. Okay, so it can be accessible from anywhere. So I'm writing this as class name as in public only. Okay, now I'm saving, it will be getting saved. Okay, everyone getting my point, what I want to say? Okay, so see, please don't ask again and again regarding the enabling the chat. We have disabled the chat. If you have any queries, you can post it into the Q&A. If you have any queries, please post it into the Q&A. Okay, is that clear for everyone? So here you can see, is this first line clear for everyone? Why we are writing this public, and why, what is the class name, and how and which format we should use this um, class name, correct? Now we have written these things, right? Now what we have to do over here is like, see, whatever the things we need to do is like, we have to give some method, we have to create some method over here in the class, correct? Then what we have to do, we have to create the instance variable as well. We'll see that I'm just writing what are the things we need to do in this coding part. We'll see that what is method, what is instance variable. We'll see each and every terms in detail. But for now, I'm just creating these things. What are the things which we are needed for writing this Apex class? Okay, so I'm writing this as an instance variable. Okay, so we need instance variable, and we'll need the constructor as well. Just forget about this constructor for now. Okay, just leave for this, just leave this for some time. We'll see, we'll have a focus on these two things over here, two terms over here, which is the method, and another one is the instance variable. Let me close this anonymous window. Okay, so here you can see there are the two things which are there we want to work for. So method is nothing but the functionality. Okay, sometimes we'll call as a method, sometimes we'll call as a function. Okay, so if whatever you want to call it, you can call it. So like you use method, or you can call it as a function as well. Okay, function. And here we can define it as a method is defined for the functionality. Is that clear? And why we are writing this why we are writing this instance variable? To get the attributes, and attributes over here. Attributes is nothing but the properties. Okay, or we call it as a properties. Sorry. Okay, Now method is nothing but the function which we are providing for the functionality of the code, and the instance variable is nothing but the attribute, or we can call it as a properties which we are going to define. Now I have just created the class name as a generic car. Now please tell me what can be the properties of particular car. If suppose, just take random example. Don't get confused over here what I want to say. Just remember, I'm just asking in general way. What are the properties of the car? Can you mention in the chat? What are the properties of the correct car model? Color, model, price, yes. Model, car engine, okay. Color, fine. Okay, so I'll take a basic terms which I can use for this. Like we can take this height, weight, model. You only mentioned all these things, right? So height, color, weight, model, power, mileage, everything we'll be using. So now we have to define the instance variable. Okay, so how we can define it? So we'll do one thing over here. We'll define the instance variable. How we'll be defining this instance variable? Simply writing the public, okay, public string, and I'm defining one property as a color. Okay, so now I'm defining this property as a color. So what I'm doing, I'm simply working on the instance variable. So these instance variable are nothing but the properties. So now what are the properties of the generic car? Are the they only I'm defining that. Okay, so I'm just giving this, and then I'll move to the another class. So I'll call it as a public string. Okay, then I'm calling for the model, and I'm saving this. Okay, so I'm saving this. So I'm defining just properties, whatever the properties are there, model, and then we'll call it as another property, which is model name is okay with the string. Then another name, we'll call it as a height. Okay, so the height we'll call it as a double. Okay, then the double is like for height. So I'm just giving this as an height. Okay, then semicolon over here. Then we'll go again down. Then we have to give weight, right? So I'm just giving the public double weight, and I'm giving semicolon. Then again, what is remaining? Power, right? Public integer, and I'm giving power over here. Okay, then semicolon. Please don't forget these things. If you are forgetting about these semicolons, then it won't see, it will give an error. That means it is not ending over here. It is again coming over down, and it is again it is feeling like it is having one more it is in the continuation. So for that we have to give the semicolon, so that it is saying that yes, it is the end of this property, and again new property is getting started. Okay, so in this way we need to define all these properties. So we define the power, and we'll see take last property, which is the public double. See, we are just taking an simple example to we'll try to understand these things first, that how these things are, how this Apex class is running. Then we'll see in the real time how we'll be writing that code. Okay, we'll see that example also, but we'll see 2 to 3 things before that, starting that real-time example. Before that, we will study the what is the generic way to write the Apex class. Then we'll see that how we will be going to use the collection of data types. Then we'll see how we can write the DML operations. Then we'll see how we can write the SOQL, Salesforce Object Query Language. Then we'll move to the real-time Apex class where we going to insert, where we are going to use that list and all the collection data types. Then we are going to see that how we can fetch the records by using the SQL. Is that clear? But for now, please try to understand this generic way, how the flow is running, what are the methods, what are the variables, why do we call it this class. So we have to understand these things first. So that's why I'm writing just in the generic way. So I've just taken a general example of the particular class. I'm just defining the class name, and under the class, I'm just defining the instance variable, which is nothing but the attributes and properties. Now, one more property is remaining over here. So I'll give it as a mileage. Correct? And I'm giving the semicolon. So I'll save this. Okay. Now, here you can see all the properties we have defined over here, right? So all this property we defined, which is the string. So with the access modifier, what is the color? So color comes with the string, correct? So strings defines for the text. So color will be giving as an red, yellow, blue, black, anything you can give. So that value is in the text format, right? So we have given the text as an string. We are using the string as a data type over here. Then similarly for the model name can be anything, Skoda, Volkswagen, any model can be there. So we have just provided the model name as a string. Then we talk about the height. So it will be coming under like 500,000. So for that reason, we are using this double over here. Then coming with the weight, same we are providing with the data type as in double. Then for the integer, here you can see integer. I am just providing in power because we can see the power. It can't be in that huge number, so we are just providing the integer. Then mileage, again we are providing that is in way. So just providing these some generic properties for this particular generic car. Okay, is that clear? So what do you think these properties are what? So these are nothing but the, sir, these are nothing but the imaginary term. Okay, why this is called as an imaginary term? Because till now we don't know what is the object of this, correct? If suppose we are defining one particular object for this, so like object name is like in Skoda. Okay, Skoda, Skoda S6 or something. I'm just giving any model name. Okay, so the object name is Skoda. Now what is happening over here? We are providing some values to this particular object. Here we are giving that what colors are there, what models are there. So these terms are imaginary until it doesn't have any object. But if sudden, all of a sudden we have a particular object for that, then what is happening? We are defining all these properties to that particular object. Is that clear? What I'm saying, I'm repeating again. See, this part is imaginary until and unless it is not getting any object over there. As soon as it is getting a particular object, that means now these properties can be there for the particular object, right? So for this particular object, it is getting some color, model, height. Now we can decide it. As soon as we are getting the object, so now for this object, we can define what color we should give. Then what is this model name? So like this is the model name. So then height, how should be, what should be the weight? So different objects are having the different types of things. But we don't know if we are not having object, then it is the imaginary term. Is that clear? So we have written the attributes of this. Now we were talking about the method, correct? So what kind of functionality can be there for the car? Just imagine, for in general term only, for the car, what can be the functionality? I want a general answer. I just don't think about the coding part. Just think in such a way that how these things are there. So what functionality the car is having? Running, excellent. Then speed, okay. Carry people, travel, running, stop car, start the car. Okay. So these are the this is the functionality of the car, right? Correct. So that means I can see that all the people are active. So that's great. Okay, so now we will give the method. So as I told you, method is nothing but the functionality. Okay, I hope everyone is getting this point. What I want to say, see, you got the instance variable. What are the properties of it? Correct. So if you are getting these general terms, then it is not that difficult to go with the objects and with the fields. Whenever we are going to use these terms, it will be not that difficult if you are understanding this generic way, right? So yes, acceleration, run speed, all these things are correct answers only. So these are the functionalities of the car, right? So first we have provided the properties, which is the attributes of the, and we call it as a attributes. Okay, so now we are writing the public void. Okay, so I'm writing this public void. Okay, public void, and I'll just give the method name. So I'm just, I'll say, see, this method is also having the format. So this format is called as the camel case. Okay, so like if suppose I'm writing do start, so first initial will be small and the another will be the capital one. So here you can see. So do start. So this is called as the camel case. Okay. This is called as a camel case. You please make a note of these things. These small things also matters a lot. Okay. So these small things will be uh, uh, also matters a lot. Okay. Whenever you will work on the real time examples, you have to make sure these things, that how these things are running. And see, as I told you an example that if you are writing code and you are getting some errors and you will go to some experts, then you should be easily you should be identifying that code. So for that him, it should be easy to understand what is the class, what is the method. Okay. So here we are using the, for the method we are using the camel case over here. Okay. So public void do start, and with the public do start, what will be giving? So we are just giving the constructor type over here, then semicolon, and then I'm giving this in this way, opening up the brackets. So here I have defined one method, which is the to start. And you might be thinking that this is what void, why we are using this void. See, why we are using this void means this this doesn't require any return type. Okay, so here you can see it is the return type. Void is nothing but the return type of this. Okay, so whenever we are writing this void, that means you don't have to write the return type for this. So if suppose we are just taking an example, I'll show you that if you are not writing the void, then what will it will come. Okay, so for now, just I am doing this do start as a method functionality. Then I want to print something over here. So what I'll be using, system dot debug. Okay, system dot debug, and I want to define some, I want to check whether this method is running or not. So how I can check? Simply just defining in the single quotes. As I told you yesterday also that in the JavaScript we simply use system dot out that dot println, right? So here in the FX language we'll be going to use this system dot debug. Okay, and whatever we want to print will be typing in this single quote. So right now I'm using the in the single quotes. So I'll write some text over here. Car is running. Okay, okay, car is running, or I can say is running. Is that clear? And after that I have to provide the semicolon and save this. Okay, so this error is there, so it will error will be gone after saving this record. Now what it is saying, missing 18, line number 18. Okay, system.debug. That is fine. We'll see this. Missing system.debug car is running. Okay. Now let's save this. Why it is showing this error? Okay, after that we'll write one more method over here. So now it is gone. Okay, so it was not saved clearly. So let's see, is this clear everywhere? Okay, then save this once again. Here you can see if it is not saved, then it will come with the star mark over here. Now here you can see there is no star mark. Okay, as soon as I'm doing something over here, now what will be happening over here? Simply if I'm writing something over here, so here you can see it is giving some star mark, so that means that code is not saved. See, most of the times you will be writing the correct code over there, and you will say that I'm getting this error and that code is not getting run. Why that is not getting run? Because you are not saving that code. So please make a habit of that. Whenever you write a single line of code, just save it. Just save it. After writing the single line of code, just make a habit of that. As soon as you write one line, just save that. Okay, so that habit is good. Okay, whenever you're writing the code, if you are directly calling that class, and that class is not saved, then it will definitely throw the error. Okay, because that system doesn't know that what you have written, right? So for that reason, you make a habit of writing the after writing each line, you have to make a habit of saving the code. Okay, so just given the semicolon, and we have written one method over here. Then we'll write one more method as it starts. So we'll use the do stop. Okay, sorry, I have to use public void do stop. Okay, so I'm defining one method again. Okay, so here also I'll be printing something, system dot debug, then car, sorry, in the single quotes I should write, so car stop. Okay, now again I'll define one more method over here, public void play music. I'll define one more and then I'll stop with this. Okay, play music. Okay, then again I am debugging something, some method over here, system dot debug. Okay, then I'm printing something over here in this play music. Okay, so I'll write some text over here in this format. So I'm writing the play music. Play music. Okay, then I'm writing over once again. So I forgot the semicolon over here. Okay, then save this. Then again I have to write the semicolon over here, then save this. Okay, then I'm writing one more method, last method this is. So public void stop music. Okay, if you have any doubt after writing this code, then please let me know in the chat box. I'll see that what queries you are facing. Okay, so I'll try to answer here only itself. Okay, so system dot debug, and I'm saying stop the music. Okay, so I've made a mistake over here. So stop music and then system dot debug. Sorry, stop. Is that clear? So here you can see that we have written each and every method. Now what, as I was talking about the void, right? If we are not writing void, if I am not writing any void and simply I'm writing the string over here. Now I'm trying to save this record. Okay, if I'm trying to save this method, so here you can see it is saying that it is saying that I forgot to semicolon, then save this. So here you can see that it is throwing an error, missing the return statement. Why? Because I haven't written the void over here. So if I am writing the string over here, that means I need to give some return type. So what can be the return type? So if suppose I'm writing return, okay. So what I want to return, I'll write it over here. So like it can be anything. Okay, and if I try to save this, it will get saved, but semicolon is remaining. Then save this. So it is still saving. Okay, so here you can see the error is gone. Why? Because I have given something written over here, right? I'm returning something over here. Is that clear? If I'm not using void, then I have to return something. Why I am returning this in the single quotes? Because I am using the string over here. If I am using integer, so I'll directly write some digit over here. So it will, and if I am trying to write in the single quotes, it won't take, because string is there. The string will write in the text format. So text is always in the single quotes defined, right? So that's why I'm writing that string in the single quotes, so that it means it is a text, correct? So that is the reason we are writing the void. Why? To give some return things over here. So we, instead of writing this string, we are giving the void over here, and we are saving this. Okay, is that clear for everyone? Is that clear for everyone? Please tell me whether you are getting this point or not. Okay, so yes, I can see lots of yes. Okay, so thank you. As we have used the multiple methods over here, is that clear? Now we'll try to call this class. Okay, now we'll try to call this class. So how we can call? Simply go to the debug. Here you can see there is an open execute anonymous window, right? So here you can see there is an open execute anonymous window. That means where you have to call the class. Okay, here you have to call the class. So just there is a shortcut key also for that. Here you can see there is a shortcut key for that, Control+E, right? You can directly press a Control+E, so that window will be getting pop-up. Okay, so here you can see. So now you have to call this class. Okay, so here you can see whatever the class you are writing, you just have to write over this. Here you have to define one object. After defining that object, you have to simply click on execute, so that object will get executed. Okay, so how you can execute now? Now this is not the static method. Okay, so now this is just a with a non-static method. Now for that, what I will see that thing also, what is static and what is non-static, when we'll see the real-time example. Okay, so then we'll be seeing that what is the difference between the static and non-static. If suppose that is a static method, then what I'll be defining over here as a public static void. Is that clear? So right now I'm not mentioning anything over here, and I'm simply executing this thing. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so now we'll call the class. How we can call the class? Simply take this class name. Okay, copy this class, paste it over here. Okay, so we had copied this class name, right? Now we'll define one object. So object, as we decided, we'll take this as an Skoda S6. Okay, so I'll copy this and I'll paste it over here. There should not be any space between this. So I'm just giving this as an I'm giving this. This is also having a format, so it should be, sorry, Skoda S6. So I'll write this in the capital. Okay, so this is also the camel case over here. Okay, so this is nothing but the variable. We can call it as a variable. We can call it as an object. Okay, so what does this do this variable? It is creating a space. Whatever the values which are passing in the constructor, it will get stored into this Coda S6. Okay, is that clear? See, this is a variable. We can call it as a variable, or we can call it as an object. Okay, so whatever the values which we are going to pass in the constructor, we'll see that what is constructor, but for now just focus, this is the just a variable. Okay, so we defined one variable over here, then I'm giving the equal. Now I'm writing new, and what I'll be writing, new generic car. Why I'm writing new generic car? Because I want to pass the values in the constructor. This is the new constructor. This is I'll going to pass some parameters into this constructor. Okay, so how I'll be passing? So it is just in this way. We'll see that thing when we'll see the constructor part. Right now, just focus that how we can run this class. Okay, so now I've just written the class name, and I've defined one variable, and I defined the new as an new generic car for this class. Okay, now I want to run this system dot debug, and I am printing something over here. If I want to write something over here, or else what I can do, I can call this object as well. So I'm copying this. Sorry. So I want to copy this, and I'll paste it over here, and I'll give some semicolon. Okay, is that clear? So now I've written the Apex code over here, right? Now here you can see we have written the car is running. Now I want to use some text for this format as well, color, model, height, weight, right? So how I can use, if suppose I'm simply writing color over here, or I am using the model. So I want to use the model. So here it will throw an error. Okay, I am trying to save this record. Now it will give me some error over here. Just check. After saving, it will give some error. So it is still saving. Sometimes it may take time. If server is a little bit busy for this, then it might take some time to save this. Still it is saving. Okay, so I'm taking this property, and I'm just taking this property, and I'm defining over here. Okay, now I'm trying to save so that it will throw me error. Why? Because I can't call this property directly, because this attribute is outside the method. This is not inside the method, right? So see, please try to understand, guys, what I want to say here. Whatever the properties I've written, that property is outside this method. This is not inside the method. If I'm writing these attributes in below this method, then I don't have to write this. I can write directly as a model. It will take it, but I haven't define anything. It is here you can see all the properties are outside the class, outside this method, right? So that's why after saving this, it will give me some error over here. Now here you can see it got stuck. So let me do one thing. I'll copy this whole code, and let me refresh this. I copied this. I'll do refresh of this. Then I'll click on open. Then open car. Here you can see there is a generic car. So I'll open this, and I'll Control V. Okay. So now I'll try to save this. At least now it should get saved. So here you can see it is giving me error. So here you can see there is a problem. Extra, it is showing extra at model, right? If I want to store this, how I will store this? How I can store this? Simply I'm adding this, and I'm adding this, and I'm using this dot. Okay, so what will happen whenever we want to call, whenever we need to call the properties which are outside the method, then we have to use this dot. Now here you can see the error is gone. Is that clear for everyone? Can you understand this, guys? Why I'm writing this? See, now it will be giving me output as in car is running, and the model name, whatever the model name I'll give, it will run in that way. Okay, so I'm copying this, and I am pasting over here instead of this. Okay, I'm copying this, and I'll paste over here, and I'll paste it over here as well. Okay, Now, please try and to understand this, guys. Now, I'll save this once again. Okay, now it got saved and there is no error. Now I want to execute the code. Again, that anonymous code is gone, so no need to worry about that. We'll write it again. So generic car, copy, paste it over here. Then the object name is this. So just paste it over here. Okay, then equals to new, and then again the generic car, copy, paste it, then give semicolon. Okay, and then we'll debug this system dot debug. See, this system dot debug is nothing but it is used to print something. Okay, it is used to print something, and then we are calling this, sorry, is so this is also the camel case. Now I'll give semicolon over here. Now I'll copy this, sorry, semicolon. Then I'll copy this object and I'll paste it over here. Okay, now this will run this generic car. Now let's click on this open log. Why open log? Because whatever the output will come, it will come in the, it will run one log, and in that log we'll get some output. So I'm just clicking on this, checking this checkbox with the open log. Then I'll execute this code. Okay, so now it is getting executed. After going to this logs, here you can see this logs is getting opened. Now after pressing the Control E, again here you can see there is an anonymous window. Now whatever the things which you have given, so here you can see whatever the things here you can see, these are all the logs which got executed in the back. Okay, how it got run, it is giving all the details of it. Okay, so here you can see each and every term over here, how it got run. Okay, so now till now we haven't used any DML operations and all. We'll see that what are the things, after clicking to the logs, here you can see there is a debug only. So just click it over there. Now here you can see mileage is null, color is null, height is null, model is null, power is null, and weight is also null. Why this is null? Because we haven't passed any value to these particular properties, right? Please try to understand what I'm saying. See, I have run this piece of code. I have called this color, model, height, weight, power, mileage, but I haven't given any values to these properties, right? So how it can show any output for this, correct? So if suppose I am giving some values to this null, so if suppose I am giving some value to this mileage, then it will give some, consider some values, right? So please try to understand this, guys. What I want to say is like whatever the properties are there, that properties having some values, right? So how we can pass these values? By constructor. Now the constructor will come into the role. Okay. Now the constructor will come into the role. So now the will define the constructors. Okay. So our next point is constructor. Okay, so now we have to define the constructor. Okay, so what does constructor do? Whatever the parameters which are we are passing over here, that parameters are taken care by this constructors only. Okay, so if suppose what I'm doing over here, so there is a color. So okay, so color is in the string format. So what I'll be doing over here, so I'll be using this string. So if suppose I want to give some color for this this model, so I'll give in the single quotes. So single quotes, I am writing the black. Okay. Okay, so I have given this. You can write in this way also, like string color, and then you pass the values over here. That is also fine. Okay, but for now I'm just taking this way. I'm simply taking this as an black. Okay, now I pass the value for the color. Now I'll pass the value for the model. Okay, so I'll pass the value for the model. So model name is something a Volvo or something. I'm just taking randomly Volvo S7 or something like that. Okay, 7. Okay, Then it is also in the text format, right? It's string. So it should be in the single quotes only. Parenthesis. Yes. Okay. Then give comma. Then the third property is height, right? So I'll give the height as an it is an double, so it won't require any parenthesis over here. So I'm just defining this 100, then comma, then it is with the weight. Okay, so I'll give this weight as in 500. I'm just giving the random weights and all these property values are random, it is not the specific values. Okay, so I'm just defining random values according to that data types. Then here you can see there is a power. Okay, so again the power is there. So if I write this power with like 10 or something, so if I'm defining this 10, then comma, then I'm defining this as a mileage. So instead of this, what I'll do, I'll use this 900 and I'll use this mileage as in 10. Okay, then that's it. So all these are just the number terms, so that's why they don't require any. I'm just giving random names, numbers. I'm not defining this as a specific what are the specifications of this car, and according to that I'm doing nothing. I'm just giving random way. Okay, so whatever the properties which are present over here, it is that properties value I passed it. What do you think, it will run again? No, it doesn't know any what properties and what values are we are going to pass, right? To it is a like it we call it as a attributes. It is just getting the properties over here, but we haven't defined. So see, we define the constructor over here, and in that constructor we define some parameters over here, some values over here, right, for these properties. Now what do you think, it will get directly stored over there? No, we have to pass one method. So in that method, this value will be getting stored, and after that we have to call this. So as you can see, we have passed these values. So that values to get stored over there, we should define some method for that. So let's define one method. Okay, so if suppose I am defining one method as an so I need to define constructor, sorry, not method. I need to define the constructor. So how you can define the constructor? Simply you have to take the public access modifier, right? So access modifier, as I told you, the public is nothing but the access modifier. So you can call this method in another class. Okay, so here you can see I'm running this, and now with this public access modifier, I'm taking the same name as out of class. Why? Because I want to pass this parameter. So whenever we want to pass the parameters, we write the constructor is a class, same name as that of class. Okay, so I'm taking the same name as that of class. Now whatever the properties here we define, same way we'll be defining, like string color, right? String color, comma, string model, then comma, copy this double height, right? Just close this for now, or else we copy. It will open in the same way. Okay, so double height, then comma, then there is a weight, copy, then there is a power, copy, paste it, then there is a mileage. Okay, I'm just copying this and just giving some. Okay, now semicolon, and then save this. Okay, no, not a semicolon, sorry. It will have the curly brackets and save this. Okay, now save this. Okay, so we pass the constructors over here. Now the errors are gone. Now, what do you think? Still these colors, this double is not having any storage. So we have to store these colors. This attribute should get stored somewhere else. So for that we need to store these properties. Okay, so whatever the values we are passing, see, whatever the values which we are passing, black, Volvo, then 10, 100, 500, whatever the values which we are giving, it is coming to this. But coming to these parameters, right? They are coming to these parameters, but this parameters is not having any vessel over here. So for that we need to store somewhere. So here you can't create variables for variables and you store each and every term. So for that, what you need to do, simply use this as an. So these are all the local variables. Okay, so whatever we have defined over here, these are nothing but the local variable. Now you want to store somewhere. So how you can store this? These dot. Okay, so these dot color is there, right? So I'll write the color equals to. So where you want to store this? In the color. So I am storing this color value into this vessel, which is there having these. So see, I am using this color only. Why I am using this color? Because I want to store this color in this dot color. So it is this vessel of the color. Okay. So I am storing this as a semicolon and save this. Okay. Then error is gone again. Now I am storing this again, this dot, second property, which is the model. Copy this. Sorry, not comma, full stop. Then model equals to model. Okay, then semicolon. Then these are all getting passed. These all properties are getting stored in this dot values. Okay, I'm giving this dot. This dot, the third property is height, right? So just copy this. See, give the same sequence. If you are merging this sequence, the whatever the values which are getting, it will get up and down. Okay, so please take care of these things as well. So this height is getting stored with the height, and then give the semicolon. Then again this dot, another way. Then after height there is a weight, right? So I'll just use this weight. Okay, then equals to weight semicolon. Then again enter this dot, power equals to power semicolon. So these are case insensitive. Okay, so whatever you write it will take it. Okay, whether you write in uppercase or lowercase, it doesn't matter, because this is the case insensitive. Okay, if that is a case sensitive, that means whatever you are writing, same thing it should come. Okay, so this is case insensitive. That's why if we can write, if I write in the like here you can see there is a mileage, M is in capital. Now if I'm writing M small over here, right, and that will take it. Okay, okay, it doesn't matter that whether it is having the full stop, that it is uppercase or not. Okay, it will take it. Okay, you can see that. Is that clear? Now here you can see all the values which was there, which we passed over here. Okay, they are getting stored into the local variables. Then these variables are getting stored into this color is getting stored into this color. So this color we are passing with this attributes, which is the attribute variable, right? So the instance variable, sorry, these are getting in the stored into the instance variable, right? Which is the properties of this, right? Now if I am trying to execute, now it will give some values to that. So here you can see, after calling this, if I'm clicking on the debug only, so here you can see mileage is 10, color is black, height is 100, model is Volvo, power is 900, and then weight is 500. So in this way, it is getting value. Is that clear? Now you might be thinking that we have written multiple methods over here: do start, do stop, play music. What about this? Is that right? So for that, what we need to do, simply go to the anonymous window once again. Now what you have to do, you have to call this method. How you can call this method? By using this object only. Okay, so just copy this, paste it over here, dot, then use this method, copy this, what I am doing, see, I am copied this method, copied this object variable. Okay, so I paste it over here, then dot. I'm copied this method and I'm pasting over here, then brackets, then semicolon. Okay, then same thing with the do stop also. So just copy that, paste it over here, then copy this method. So we are calling the methods now, okay, in this class. So I'm using this dot, sorry. Uh-oh. So before that, we have to use object. Okay, then semicolon, then brackets. So now we are just calling this all this method. Okay, now you can see whatever the weak things which we have called over here, it get reflected. Array. Okay, now just execute this. Okay, it is still loading. Okay, now here you can see after going to this debug only, here you can see car is running. Now it is stuck to each value. Now how I can do these things? Simply go to that code once again. Okay, control plus E. Okay, now I need to create some space in that. So now save this. Okay, now execute it. Now go to debug only. So running Volvo 7. Okay, I understood. Control. Okay, so these are the small things, but I hope you understood this. Okay, what I want to do is simply whatever the things which I need to print over there, so it will get printed over there. Okay, is that clear? So that is the thing how it is getting run over here. Okay, so now I hope this you understand this code, what I want to write it. Okay, so if you didn't understand, then please let me know in the chat. Okay. Yeah, I know that after stop, after semicolon, I need to give that full stop. Okay. So please tell me whether you got this point or not. Yes, it is same like that Java only. Okay, so I can see lots of answer are yes. Okay, so I'll just explain this code. Okay, so I've simply written this class name as a generic car. Okay, after that generic car, what I've done, the space which I need to give over here is here. Okay, then only it will create that. Okay, so the thing is, what is happening over here? I'm just defining one particular class, and what I'm done, just forget about this constructor for now. Then what I have done, I have simply created the instance variables, which are nothing but the properties. Okay, which for the generic car. Then what I've done with the generic car, I've simply written the all the properties over here. Then these properties, sorry, not about these properties. So I've written all these properties over here, correct? Then I have defined one method over here. So like multiple methods, which are there for the, which are method nothing but the functionality. Okay. So for the car, the functionality is given, right? So do stop, play music. So this all functionality was given. Then we have seen we call how we can call the class, which is a public class, right? So we call this public class, but there were no values defined for that particular class, right? So after that we have passed these values in this, right? After passing these values, we need to store this parameter into some parameters. So we have created one constructor over here. So this is also nothing but this new generic card, nothing but the constructor we are defining over here, right? So we are defining one particular constructor, and that constructor we are defining some values to into these properties, these parameters, okay? And these are getting there. You don't have any space to store these all values, so we have created using this dot, okay? So whatever the values were there, we were storing these values into this dot. So whatever the variables which were there for this color, this model, this height, weight, so all these get stored, all these properties got the values with this color, model and all. Then all this, whatever the values were given passed over here, it get reflected into the code. Okay, is that clear for everyone? Okay, now we have done with this generic term of this class, right? Now what is the output? We have seen that output in the debug only. See, if I am clicking this on the execute, after opening these logs, okay, I haven't saved that code, I guess. So here you can see star mark. So here you can see saving. If some changes are there, then Control plus E, then execute it. Okay, now I'm going to the debug only. Okay, so now here you can see we have written some. So this is nothing but the output only. Debug means whatever we want to print it, we are printing this. Okay, so now here you can see some spaces there running and Volvo. Okay, so after that semicolon sentence, we have to give some space so that it will create some space for that, right? So this is the thing that you have to get the output, right? So each and every property got some values over there, right? Is that clear for everyone? Okay. Now we have done with this general term of the apex class, right? If we want to remove all the variables, color, mileage, etc., and run class, whether it will get execute or show error. It will execute. Okay, if we are not passing any constructors for that, then it will not throw an error. Why? Because it will give it. We have run that also without giving the constructor. We have run the code also. Okay, so we have seen that it was showing null. Why? Why it was showing null? Because it was not having any constructor, so that we can store some values into it. Correct. So that's why we executed with the constructors, right? Before that, we have seen that without writing the constructor, what does the output comes, right? So it was showing the null as an output. Okay. We use that constructor to define some values to that properties. Okay. In the debug, my height value showing null. So that means you haven't defined some particular, you haven't passed the parameters correctly. Okay. So that's why it might be showing null. Okay. Please check whether you are writing that correctly or not. See, what is the purpose of writing the apex in the real time? We will see that. But for understanding purpose, what is the class? What is the method? What is the debug? Why we are writing? Why? You see, if I'm directly taking that real time example and I'm explaining that, then it will be difficult for to understand this code. Okay. If I'm directly taking the piece of code and I'm simply started running and I'm inserting the record, I'm updating the record, that is not the way of learning, right? We have to understand this thing in the general way. First, we should understand what is variable. If I am directly using this kind of words, this is the method, this is the class, and I'm inserting this particular record, and I will execute it. How you will come to know? You will come to know what is method, what method? If I'm using, suddenly I'm using method as an functionality, right? I'm using the method as an functionality. So I've written one function, then I'm written some variable, and sometimes I'm calling that variable as an object. So if I'm repeating these things, then it will have it will that term will get confused to you, right? So that's why I've taken just a general example for this. Yes, is that clear for everyone? Sir, yes, sir, I know, but we write this, then program will run or not. Yes, definitely that code will be running. Okay. See, these we are learning small things we will be learning. Okay. Then after learning each and every term, then we will see that how we can use in the real time. Okay. But for now, just please try to understand small things. If you are understanding small things, then you can write that code in bulk. If you're suddenly I am using DMLs and suddenly I'm using SOQL and suddenly I'm using some collection of framework, then how you will come to know that what is collection of framework, what is DML operation, what is SOQL. You should understand these things slowly, small parts. If you are understanding that in small parts, then it is easy to capture the things whatever I want to say. Okay, but if you want like that, I can take that way also. Should I do that? Should I do that directly take in a real-time example and I will directly take the SOQL in the code. I will directly take the DML operations in that. So will you get that point? Will you be able to catch that things? I can see there are lots of no answers. Yes. So for that reason only I am taking this small ways. So you should be able to understand that thing, right? Okay. Now we will see the collection of framework. Okay. Now we'll see the collection of framework. What is the collection of data type, collection of framework, whatever we call it as. Okay. So let me close this all this tab. I have saved this code, so it will be getting saved. Okay. Now I'm closing all these tabs. Now let us understand about the collection of data type. So I'm clicking on pressing Ctrl plus E. Okay. Ctrl plus E. I'll clear this. Okay. Now see, first we'll see that what is list. So first we'll move to the slides. Okay. So here you can see list is a ordered collection of element that are distinguished by their indices. Okay. It can have duplicate values. Please try to understand, guys, what is it is saying that it is the ordered collection. It is having some, it is working in the ordered collection. That means it is having some index. If you are calling that particular index, it will get execute. Okay. And if it is having any duplicate values, it will take that duplicate values also. Here you can see this list means that thing only. 2 points are mandatory over here, that it is the ordered collection and it contains the duplicate values also. These are the two key points of this list. Okay. So the collection of framework is a collection of data types is having three types: list, set, and map. So list is nothing but the ordered collection and it is having the duplicate. Okay. So like an array, it is like an array. So list of elements can be of any data type: primitive data types, collections, S objects, user defined types, and any Apex build types. So we'll be using these things, these terms, list, what is the list and all. We'll see that whenever we'll write the real time codes. But please try to understand these things. How does this list works? Okay. Then only we'll come to know that how we can use that in the real time. Okay. Okay. Is that clear? Now, what I'm doing, I'm simply taking a simple example of list. Okay. So first, as I told, what is list? List is a ordered collection. Right? Then secondly, it is having duplicates. What does this duplicate means? I'll show you. Okay. Now space. Now I'll write the list. Okay. So let me make this window a little bit open. Okay, so now I'll be writing some list code. So how I will be writing the list of syntax? So I have to write the list. Okay, first I'm writing the syntax. So let me write the syntax over here. So list, here I can write anything as a data type, whatever, whether it is as object or I'm directly taking as an as object. I'll show you when we have to write the as object, but for now, just uh, or I can take it as a primitive data type as well. Okay, so it can be anything. Then here you will be defining as a variable. Then equals to, then new, then again the list, and again the same of this as it is. Like the method which we are writing, right? We are creating one object, same in similar way, and then give brackets and then semicolon. That's it. So this is the syntax. Okay, now whatever you write over here, so I'm just start writing the list of code. So I'm writing the list. Now I'm using the string for now. So I'm in the angle brackets, I'm writing string. Okay, now I'm defining one variable name, which is my var. Okay, this is also the camel case equals to list. Okay, then string. Okay, then I've given the semicolon. Okay, so it no need to uh save this because Apex code automatically we can execute it. Okay, so I've written one list of string. Then I've defined one variable equals to, I forgot about new. Okay, so new list string and semicolon. Okay, now I'll pass some values to this variable. Okay, so I will add some values. So I'll take this variable. See, I defined you this variable. Okay, variable is nothing but a memory where we are storing the values. So whenever we are using this list, just take this list, my variable, and I am simply taking this as an dot add. I'll be using add. Okay, so whatever the value I passed over here will getting stored into this my variable. So whenever I print this my variable, it will execute these values. Okay, please try to understand. I am giving it is an a. Okay, and semicolon, and then after that, same thing I'm doing over here. I'm pasting this thing. Now I'm passing the e. Then I'm passing again. Okay, then again pasting over this. Sorry. O. Okay, so I'm keeping it as a only. I know that U is there, but for purposely I'm taking this as an A. Okay. Now what I want, I'm simply printing this myvar. So see what is happening over here. I have defined one variable, and in that variable I'm adding these values. Why I'm taking this in the single quotes? Because I have defined the data type as a string. Okay, so here you can see I have defined the data type as a string. See, I just want to show that the concept behind this list. Okay, it is not the real-time entity. Okay, so it is just an example. Okay, so I have taken this A and I'm storing this A into this variable. Then I'm storing this E and I'm adding this in the my variable. So whatever the variable is there, it is all these values are getting stored into this my variable, right? Now I want to print this my variable. So how I can print system dot debug, right? Debug, and then I'm debugging what? My var, correct? I'm debugging my var. Now if I want to check some index of this, so I'll check this as well. So how I can check? System uh, dot debug. Now I want to get the index of this. So how the index works? it will start with the index. If we are talking about the index, then it will start with 0. So A is having the position of index 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. If suppose I am calling the index 0, so how I can get that? So I'll define one variable, myVar. Okay, myVar dot get. If we want to get the index, so we have to use the keyword as an get, and then what kind of index you want. So you have to define this as an array. So just give this 0 and then semicolon. Okay. So now I want the index value of 0. So it will, let's see what will it will printing. Okay. Then again, I want to take the, see the size. So size will be coming. I'll show you. I will be asking you only. So system.debug, then brackets, then myVar, okay, dot, and I want the size of this. So whenever I want the size, I'll use the keyword as a size and then brackets, then semicolon. Okay, is that clear? Okay, now if I'm trying to execute this code, so let's execute. Line number 11, get, not exist. Line number 11, system.debug 11, system.debug myVar dot get. Sorry, we have to write in this, not in this bracket. We will write in this way only. Okay, get 0. And if you want to execute, so let's try to execute this. Line number 11, 13. Oh, okay. Now execute. Now it is getting executed. So now just see what is the see. If before that, going to debug, can you tell me what will be the output for this? Can you tell me what is the output for this? With the definition, you just give me the answer. Just by the definition, can you give me the answer? I haven't defined u, then how it can be printing as in u? Index is a. Some people are correct, some people are wrong. Okay, so let's see what is the answer for this. I am clicking on debug only. So here you can see A, E, I, O, A. Okay, then C. At line number 10, it is printing myVar. So myVar is having A, E, I, O, A, right? So it is printing A, E, I, O, A. Then for the get for 0 index, it is printing the A, right? Then whenever I am printing the taking the size, it is taking the 5. Why it is taking 5? Because here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whenever we are taking of the size, so it will start from 1. But whenever we talk about the index, it will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whenever we talk about the index, it will start from 0. But whenever we talk about the size, so it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this is the difference between the size and index. Okay, is that clear for everyone? Okay, so lots of people have answered correctly. Okay, why it is taking A? Because list is collecting the A. Now I'm changing this list to set. Okay, now let me take the definition of set. So here you can see a set is unordered collection. Unordered collection means what? If I'm taking the index, it will throw me error. It is not working on the ordered collection. Okay, if it is not working on the ordered collection, so set is unordered collection, and it doesn't contain any duplicates. It doesn't contain any duplicates. Is that clear? It creates a new instance of a set class. It is a collection of new unique elements with no duplicate values. Okay, with no duplicate values. Are you getting my point? Now if I'm moving to the code once again, now here you can see. Now here you can see I am replacing this list with the set. Okay, I am replacing this list with the set. Okay, now same code I am trying to execute, it will throw me error. Okay, execute. So here you can see at line number 11, method does not exist or incorrect signature, void get integer from the set of string. So just check the line number 11. Here you can see line number 11. Now I am trying to execute with this index. As I told you, it is unordered collection. It will not take any index. If you are defining any index, it won't take it. Okay. So what we'll be doing, we'll simply comment out this thing. Okay. Now if I'm trying to execute, it will get execute. Okay. If I'm trying to execute this code, so it will execute. Now before seeing this debug answer, please tell me what can be the output by looking the definition. What will be the size for that and what will be the output for that variable? Okay, correct. Ankit is correct. Then Noor Ahmed is also correct. Then Sai is also correct. Sanjuna is also correct. Size is 4. Okay. Size someone is saying 5. So most of the people are correct only. Okay. So still some are saying 5. Okay. Now let's see debug only. Now here you can see the output is A, E, I, O. That's it. It is not taking A. C. It is not taking A. Why? Because as I told you, set doesn't contains any duplicate values. Set doesn't contains any duplicate values. Okay. Is that clear for everyone? Is that clear for everyone? And C, it is not even taking the count of that duplicate value. It is just taking the size of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, is that taking only the size of the unique values only? It is not taking the count of duplicate. So that's why it is the 4. Okay, so lots of people have, lots of participants have answered correctly. Okay. Mentors might be thinking that I'm asking questions, they are suddenly answering in such a bulk, so they have to take care of each and every term. Sorry, guys. Just go for the live answers. Okay. Okay, so now we have taken care of this thing. Okay, now we'll see. We have completed with the list. Now we have completed with the set. Now there is one more term, which is the map. That is also important to know the map. Okay, so we have completed with the list and set. Now we have to see the map. What is map? Okay, I don't know whether I'm having slides. So here you can see there is a map. A map is the collection of key and value pairs. A map is the collection of key and value pairs where each unique key maps a single value. Okay, what does this means? Please try to understand this, guys. It is always working with the key and value. Key and value means it is having some IDs, it is having some value. Okay, so key is always unique. Value can be duplicate. Value can be duplicate, but key is always unique. Okay, so here you can see a map is the collection of key value pairs where each unique key maps with the single value. It is having the single value, but it can repeat it. It can get repeat. Okay, you can change that value, but you can't change the key. Okay, is that clear? It creates the instance of map class. Okay, creates the instance of the map class. So a map is the collection of key and value pairs. We'll see that thing also. How does it works? Okay, so if I am taking the example of this, okay, if I'm taking the example of this, so let's go to this, back to the environment. Now we have to look for the map. Okay, now we are looking for the map. So in the map, I'll write first a syntax for that. This list and map is similarly having the same syntax only, just you have to replace the list with set. That's it. Now with the map, I'll be using the map. Okay. Then with the map, what I need to do over here in the angle brackets, I'll be writing some integer. If suppose I'm writing one integer over here, okay, integer, because key is there. So key should be unique. So number is the thing which it can be unique, right? So I'm just taking it for an example as an integer. Okay. Then value, I can say it can be string. Okay. Then I'm taking some variable, my var. Okay. Then equals to same new map. Then again, angle bracket, then integer, then comma, string. Okay. Then same thing. Okay. Then semicolon. So in this way, we should have something to get defined. Now I'll copy this. Okay. I'll use the same syntax for this. So, okay. So I've defined one map, which where will I be using as an integer? I'll using as a string, and I've defined one variable, and same thing I've created instance. Okay. So this is the map I'm using over here. Now what I want, I'm simply pressing the enter over here. Now the thing is, I want to add some values to that. Previously in the list and set map, I used to use the add keyword, right? I used to add keyword. Now I'll use the keyword as an put. For map, we will use the keyword as an put. So how we'll be using? Simply I'll take this variable. Okay. I'll copy this variable. I'll paste this. Okay. Dot. Okay. Sorry. Dot. Now what I need to put? I'll be using this put and giving the brackets. Now I'm having two things over here. Two things over here, which is one is the integer and another one is the string. So I am taking this one, comma, string is there, right? So it should be in the single quotes. Okay, so in the single quotes, I am defining as an A, just for an example. And then I'm giving the semicolon. Then I'm pressing enter. Then again, I'm using the myvar dot put, then brackets for two. Again, I'm defining in the single quotes as an B. Okay, then again in the single semicolon, then again myvar dot, sorry, here I have to use put. Then again here dot put, then brackets, then 3, comma, in the single quotes, I'll be using C, then semicolon, then again myvar that dot put, okay, in that put I'm using, suppose I'm using 4, comma, A, okay, and I am giving the same value. Again, I am repeating this my var dot put, and I am using the value as in 2, comma, and now in the single, sorry, in the comma, in the single quotes, I am defining the D, then semicolon. Then what I want is, I want to print this now, system dot debug, system dot debug. Then I want to print this variable, so copy this variable, then semicolon. Now please tell me guys, what will be the output for this? Can anyone say the answer? 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D. Okay. Key is repeated, so error. No, error will not be there. Key should be unique. Okay. Error. A, B, C, D, C, A. C, code got executed. So there is no error in that. A, B, D, C, A, B, C, D. No. Print 2, D. First A, then 2, B, D. Correct. So C, 4A. So lots of people have answered correctly. Okay, now let's see with the debug only, and let's open the code. Okay, now here see, 1 is printing with A, 2 is printing with uh, 2 is printing with D. See, previously the value was B, and afterwards I put the value as in D. The value got updated. The value got updated because I use the same key. I'm using the same key, but value changed. So whatever the latest value is there, it will take that. Okay. Then I've used the value 3 for C. So that is C, correct? Then again, I'm using the value 4. Then again, I'm using the key as in 4. Then again, I'm repeating this value A. Why? See, as I told you, that value can be same, but key can't be the same. So here the key was same. So it is giving the value for the latest value. Okay. Is that clear? Is that clear for everyone? Okay. So this is the way to execute this kind of codes. Okay. So this is the way we'll be using. If you want to see this real-time example where we can use this kind of examples for the map, simply go to the, let me show you. If I'm here in the org, okay, now I'm moving to some particular application. So I'm going to the sales app. So I'm just clicking over here. Now see guys over here, what I'm want to say. See, uh, I'm just opening one record in the accounts, and I'm opening this Burlington Textile Corp. Here you can see, if you consider this key, ID is unique. We can't change this ID, right? This ID is unique, but value for this is like name. Just for an example, it is okay. I will change this value. It will get changed. It will get saved. Okay, the value is getting changed. But if I try to change this, if I try to change this value, I try to change this key, and I'm simply entering this. So it will give me some error over here. So here you can see there's a problem. Why? Because if I'm trying to change the key, it is a problem. But if I'm trying to change the value, it will give the error. So in this kind of scenarios, you can use that. Okay, is that clear? Okay. So whenever we use the triggers, whenever we want to run some complexity, where with the some specific IDs only we need to work, or some specific keys only we need to work. So in that scenario, we'll be using this as a key, key and value. So map in short. Okay. Is that clear for everyone? Now we have seen the Apex class basic example. Then we have seen the collection of framework. Now we'll see the basic part of the DML operation. Okay, so now what is the basic part of the DML operation? We'll see that. Okay, so DML operation is nothing but the data manipulation language. What does that data manipulation language means? See, DML, let me start this DML. Okay, so DML is nothing but the data manipulation language. Okay, so DML is nothing but the data manipulation language. Okay, so whatever the things which we do over here is insert, comma, update, comma, upsert. Upsert is nothing but the insert plus update. Okay, insert plus update. Insert plus update. Okay, then talking about the delete. So whenever we need to insert the record, we will be using insert. Whenever we want to update the record, we'll be using update. And whenever we want to do two things simultaneously, insert plus update, then we'll be using upsert. Okay, and then whenever we have to use the delete, we'll be whenever we have to delete the record, then we'll be using the delete keyword. Is that clear? Okay, so DML is nothing but the data manipulation language where we insert the record, update the record, upsert the record, or whether we want to delete the record. Okay, now we'll see the some basic example, and then from tomorrow we'll start some basics of SOQL. We'll see the different types of SOQL, and then after that SOQL we'll see one video that how we can use this Apex, that how we can use this list, collection of framework, DML operations, and SOQL in one real-time example. Is that clear for everyone? Okay, so we'll see that example tomorrow. We'll start tomorrow with the SOQL part, but for now we have to see the some basic example of DML operation as well. Okay, so just press enter. Now we'll see that what does it mean with the insert update. Then so first we'll start with the basic thing. So if I want to insert some particular record, so how I can insert? Simply the thing for the object is like, first it is like take an object, define one variable. Okay, define one variable, then equals to new version of the record. So I'm taking the variable, then semicolon. Okay, so in this way you will taking that variable and you will be defining that terms. Okay, so let me make this variable. So now if suppose I want to create one record for the account, so how I can create that? So simply take an account web object, account object. In that account, I'm taking one variable as an myvar equals to new. Okay, new, and I am taking one object as an account and taking one bracket, then semicolon. Now I need to define the fields of the myvar. Now I have to define the fields of an account to create the record, right? So how I can create? Simply giving the enter over here. I have to take this variable so I can store the value of that field in that variable. Okay, I'm repeating once again. I'm taking this variable. With reference to this variable, I will store the field value. So if suppose I'm taking this my var and dot the field name can be name equals to, if suppose I'm taking the field name as an, suppose I'm taking this as an Nadim. Okay, then giving semicolon. Then if suppose I'm taking this my var dot industry equals to single quotes chemicals semicolon, and that's it. Okay, now I want to insert this record, so I'm inserting this, sorry, insert the record. Okay, so how I can insert? Simply taking my var comma semicolon. So now I'm saving this, executing this code. So it got executed, right? I haven't debugged anything, so it won't show any output over here with the debug, because I haven't used any system.debug and I want to print this variable, right? So simply I have executed that code to insert the record, right? So I'll move to the account. I'll move to the account list. Okay, so I have to search whether that it is created or not. So here you can see I will open this Nadim's record. Okay, so open the details. See here you can see I have chosen this Nadim as an account name, and I have chosen this industry as in chemicals, right? So I have executed this as in chemicals, so it got executed, right, with the chemicals. Is that clear? Now if I'm moving to this, if I am in the logs and the time 7:49, then I'll open this and I'll use this as an SDML filter DML. No, it is not showing over here. Okay, so in the DML, I haven't debugged, right? So that's why. So that is the thing. So what is the thing over here? I want to say, if you want to insert this, if you are using inserting that record, see, it is having some limit. Okay, if I am going to this code, pressing Control plus C, it is having the DML limit. If you insert this 150 time, that is the limit. 150 is the limit for this DML operations. Okay, so it is having a limit of 150. You can just use 150 DML operations only at a time. In the single piece of code, in the whole code, what you can do, only 150 DML operations only you can use. If you have extended this limit as an 150, then it will throw an exceptional error for exception error for you. Why? Because it has crossed the limit of 150. So as you can see, you have occupied that insert. Okay, so you are using this insert, right? So only 150 DML operations you can perform. Now if you are using this way, if you are simply defining one more variable, copy this, and I have simply used this, and I'm using this again, and I'm changing this to 1, then I will define 1, then I'll define 1, and here also I'll define 1. Now I'm changing some name to Mani Deepak. Okay, now I'm changing this name to Manideepak. Okay, now I'm taking this as a variable, and again I'm changing this. Again I'm putting this. I want to insert this multiple records, right? So again I'm changing this variable, and I'm changing this name to Prasad. Okay, so it will get execute. It will get execute. These three records will get insert again. Okay, this code will getting insert again. But what will happen? It is consuming each and every time. It is consuming the it is each and every time it is consuming the DML operation. So the limit will get extended over, means the DML operation, like after 150, it will show that three is being used out of 150. So to avoid that things, so if I'm going to the accounts, here you can see the three records, which again the Nadim record is getting inserted, then Prasad is there, then Manideepak is there, right? So it is creating. It is not like that it won't create it, but you want to avoid this thing, right? How you can avoid this? See, as I told you, it is having some limits over there. So if suppose I'm randomly taking this kind of things and I'm simply inserting each and every time, it will consume my each and every DML operation. So to avoid this, what I need to do, I have to use the list. Okay. So now in this picture, the list will be coming into the role. Okay. So in this scenario, it will come into the picture. Okay. So here you can see, as I have defined this, now what I will be doing, simply I'll remove all these codes. What I'll be doing over here. So let's take a list of this list. Okay, then I'm using the account object, because as I told you, whenever I will take for the object, so instead of string, I'll be writing the S objects over there. Okay, so I'm writing the account. I'll show you that how it gets occupied. Okay, if I am taking in the single type, how it is getting occupied. If I'm taking the list, how it is getting occupied. Okay, so list my account, I am taking this as a my ACC equals to new list. Then in the angle brackets again, account, then brackets, then semicolon. Okay, now what I can do, I have simply taken the my where, then what I've done over here, I have defined this my ACC. Okay, so let us consider this is the parent variable. Now here I've created one sub variable, which is my where. Okay, now I'm defining the all the fields values with this my where. Okay, I have done each and everything over here correctly. Now what I'll be doing over here, simply instead of directly inserting this my where, what I'll be doing, I will store all these values which are there in my where in this my ACC. So whenever I'm using the multiple records, that won't consume any DMLs. I will show you that how it is getting occupied, but for now, just try to understand how we can insert multiple records by using this one variable only. Okay. See, I'm repeating once again this thing. See, I have taken this list of account. I have defined one variable, and in this new variable, I am defining this list within an account object. And in the account object, what I'm doing, again, I am creating one variable. So whatever the fields which I want to define, I am defining with this variable only. But after that, what I'll be doing, I will be adding whatever the values which you consider in the my var will get stored into the my ACC. So again, if suppose I'm printing this, I'm inserting this. So what I'll be doing, I'll copy this, my ACC, copy this, I'll paste it over here, dot, I'll be using the add keyword, and what I need to add, I need to add this variable. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Okay. Now I have added one variable over here, correct? And then if suppose again I'm taking one more variable, if suppose I'm copying this, okay, I have created one more variable which is one over here, which is one over here, which is one over here. Okay. Now, sorry, not for here. Here I'll create one. Okay. Then I'll change this name now. I'm changing this name over here. Okay. So I'm taking this Tarkesh, and I'm adding this my ACC, and I'm taking this variable and I'm inserting this inserting this variable in this variable. Okay. Now what I'll be doing, I'll be simply inserting the insert. Now I'll simply insert one with this my ACC. Now instead of writing two times that insert, I'm just writing one time. Is that clear? I'm saving this. Sorry, not needed to save. Line number 7, unexpected column. So line number 7, sorry, semicolon. Then execute. Line number 12. Okay, semicolon. Now execute. So now it is getting executed. See, I've used just one time as an insert. But when I was not using the list, I was inserting multiple time that variable. Is that clear? Is that clear? See, if suppose I'm taking that one variable over here and I'm inserting one time, again I'm taking another variable, again I'm inserting that value, right? But this time what I've done, I have created one variable with the list, and whatever the variable which I'm defining over here, I'm simply adding that variables in this my ACC. Okay, so only one time I'm calling that insert. So these two records are getting inserted by just calling this one insert. Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear, everyone? That why we are using this list? So in these similar scenarios only, we'll be using this. We'll be using this list. We'll be using this list for this kind of DML operations only. Or we can, if you want to call some SQL queries also, then we'll be using that things. Okay. Is that clear for everyone? Is that clear for everyone? Okay, fine. Thank you for everyone for responding. I can see good response from this batch. Okay, so yes, I'm enjoying you to explaining this. If you are unable to understand, then we'll see these things in mentoring session as well. You follow the recorded videos. Okay, so just follow each and every steps every time. You just clear it, the concepts. Then we'll see that how we can use all these things in one code. Okay. So that will be the great thing. But first, just learn the small part of it. Okay. Is that clear? Okay. Thank you, guys. So we'll wind up the session for today and we'll see tomorrow that how we can code. But we'll start with the SQL part. we haven't seen update till now, but we'll see that thing also, update, upsert, and whatever we can use that delete as well. But at least you should understand the concept that why we are using this DML operations. Is that clear? Okay, thank you guys. So let's meet tomorrow, and please do practice regularly. Okay.
Recording stopped.
Okay. So thank you everyone. So we'll meet by tomorrow. Okay. Thank you guys.